to introduce our host today is Mr. Kirui. Mr. Kirui Vincent has a master's in biochemistry from Egerton University. He is a certified apitherapist and herbal medicine practitioner at Havila Apitherapy Center. Also, he has the requisite training and the knowledge that he has also gained over the years since he's been since from a young age, and also he's been able to train in the country of Romania. With that much heavy knowledge on his CV, I think we are going to stand to gain much.
True.
Not to waste time, we'd like to introduce Mr. Kirui Vincent. Karibu sana.
Thank you for the introduction, and welcome everyone to this meeting. This is a 1-hour meeting where we will indulge ourselves in apitherapy, and also maybe just to tell everyone that today is 30th of March 2025, and every year on 30th of March we celebrate World Apitherapy Day. This day was set aside to celebrate the importance of apitherapy and appreciates the work of apitherapy and the work of apitherapists, and more so to appreciate and celebrate the work that APs are helping us in maintaining health and wellness. So today presentation basically will devolve around apitherapy itself, and we will learn more about apitherapy and how apitherapy will help us in having good health, and also how we intend to use pea products in improving our health and wealth. So today we are learning about apitherapy, and I'll just have a quick introduction of apitherapy. And I would say apitherapy, normally it comes from 2 Latin words, which means epi. Epi means bee, ama nyuki, while therapy is therapeutic, or it's the art of treating. So it means epi and then treatment. Epi is the bee and then treatment. So initially it used to be called pea therapy, but over time, the World Apitherapy Federation, they adapted epi. As we also know, beekeeping is also called apiculture, where in Latin, epi means bee. So currently, apitherapy is the term used to refer to the treatment using pea products. This kind of treatment basically is an alternative medicine practice, though in some countries they have accepted and registered some of the products in the mainstream medicine. But in Kenya, it is classified under alternative medicine. So they are classified together with apple medicine, even aromatherapy. All those are alternative medicine in Kenya. We are in Kenya, apitherapy is regulated by Ministry of Culture, just like other alternative medicine. Now, basically, apitherapy is use of pea products to prevent, heal, treat, and recover from different diseases. Apitherapy also is a science, and it is an art, and it is holistic. It is a science since it is based on facts, and these facts are founded with scientific facts. Apitherapy, they don't use guesswork as such. Almost all procedures in apitherapy is backed by science. And that is why it involves even procedures, it involves diagnostic methods, administering of drugs and dosages, just like in any other science-based medicine. And the same resource which you use in epitherapy after treatment, it is reproducible. That means you will get similar results for the same product you're using in Kenya with the same person whom you are also using the same product to treat in somewhere else. So in epitherapy, you don't expect to have a different results using the same product to treat people from different, but they produce the same results throughout the globe. We also see epitherapy as an art because it involves a lot of skillful application. For example, pasting therapy or venom therapy, it involves a lot of skills in application of the stings, where you need to identify where to sting and even where to apply the venom. So it's an art. You need to have the skills. The other thing is for epitherapy, it involves the spirit of love. It involves the friendship and understanding the patient and being together and encouraging one another. Just like the way peace behave in an hive. They work together as a team with love, friendship, and hope. So in epitherapy, if you are attending to a patient, you need to show that love. You need to do it with love, with that empathy and friendship and understanding of the patient's conditions. And that is why it's also classified as an art. So it's both an art and a science. The history of epitherapy dates back to when the first person discovered that the products from the pea can be used in treatment. For example, the first people to taste honey and start using honey, those are the first people whom they discover epitherapy. And funny enough, honey is the only product which there are two products which the Bible tells us for those people who are Christians, which the Bible says we are going to enjoy in heaven. It's honey and milk. So that clearly tells you there are beekeepers in heaven. And also what also tells you is if there are beekeepers, it means there are bees in heaven. And if there are bees, it means there are plants. Because bees cannot survive without flowers, without plants. So meaning that place is a very beautiful place with so many flowers and bees. And we have now epitherapy dates back even to the period when Egyptians, that is from the papyrus writings in Egyptians, where they were using things like beeswax, propolis, and honey in preserving the dead bodies, like the one of Pharaoh. So they were using these products as preservatives to preserve the dead body. And from that, we all know and we all understand that honey can stay for even 200 years without going bad, without degrading, provided you have put them in the right conditions. It's one of the food which do not spoil for so many years. For in the last century, that is now where they started using pastings to treat people and use of propolis. So the use of therapy have advanced over time up to the point for treatment of various diseases and conditions. One of the products which is used in treatment is honey, and we all know this. Asali tunatumianga to treat so many things, especially now when it is very cold. You will find people doing what we call dawa. So the ingredients for dawa, mostly you will find honey is one of the major ingredients in dawa. And that tells you what is it is not just a sweetener, because if you want to make dawa, most people don't use sugar, and sugar is a sweetener. They prefer using, and there is a reason why they use honey, because honey has antibacterial effect, and also it has antifungal properties. So these antibacterial properties is what will now help us in fighting those diseases and even fighting the flu, antibacterial and antiviral properties, which honey has. Now, over time, honey has been used in treatments of conditions such as wound healing, where you apply honey on the wound and the wound will heal. Honey also is being used in our faces, especially the skin, the face, in what we call honey facial treatments. Some used in making masks. The reason being is honey itself is a moisturizer. It helps in opening the pores in the skin. It also treats things like acne and pimples. And the mode in which the honey operates, for example, in wound healing is honey contains a natural compound which resembles hydrogen peroxide. This hydrogen peroxide denatures the protein coating of most bacteria, allowing now this will now kill the bacteria, and you will not have that is why it is called that is why it is antibacterial, because it has its own natural hydrogen peroxide compound which acts on this bacteria, and it has helped so much in wound healing. The other thing honey does is it has enzymes which help in regeneration of new cells. So if you have an open wound and you apply honey, the enzymes in the honey will activate or will promote generation of new cells in the wound, hence formation of the new skin and also the tissue which is in that wound to regenerate back, and the wound will heal faster. At the same time, honey, when you cover on the wound, it forms a barrier which will not allow other microorganisms or pathogens to enter into the wound, because already the honey has formed a barrier, so preventing contamination. And honey is also hygroscopic in nature. It means it absorbs moisture or it absorbs water. So any excess water or moisture in the wound, the honey will absorb, leaving it dry, which will allow the wound to heal faster. So honey is used in treatment, and most of those treatments is in wound healing, where we have had success in treatment of conditions of diseases in using honey. Is basically the most successful one is in wound healing, and then the other successful one, and we have a product where we use honey for wound healing. It's called honey syrup. You just apply to treat your face. It's a procedure which we do. It takes like 1 hour for that procedure to be conducted on your face. It is purely safe. Everything is natural, no chemicals used. We have honey detox massage. Honey is able to pull toxins from your body. So it detoxifies your body, not just by eating, but by just doing massage on you, especially on the lower back, along the back. We use honey detox massage to help in detoxing your body through that. It is very, very effective where you have the blockage in your nervous system, because it opens that blockage and allow the transmission of the transmission within the nervous system to be very effective and fast. And that is why if you do honey detox for somebody who's having back pain massage, it's very effective. It reduces the pain and through without so much pain. So it improves the quality of life. That is a wonder of honey. Now, we have talked so much but what is the composition of honey? Honey is composed of fructose, it's composed of sucrose and other sugars. It also has proteins, it has minerals, some other compounds like vitamins, and the most important one, it also has enzymes. It also contains water, and the average water or moisture which should be in honey should not go past 20%. So it should at least be 20% and below. That also determines the quality of honey. But the most important aspect of honey is these enzymes, these other phenolic compounds and vitamins. These compounds are very volatile. So when handling honey, one thing which you should not do is you should not eat your honey or boil your honey to a temperature more than 45 degrees, because you will kill all these enzymes. The vitamins will be denatured, and even phenolic compounds and flavonoids, some will be denatured, and some will even change its shape and characters like that. It works against you. So one thing I can say is don't boil honey above temperature of 45 degrees Celsius. And when using honey for treatment, ensure you use good quality honey, not adulterated honey. Because if it is adulterated, instead of using it as treatment, it might even cause some other conditions. Now, these are basically uses of honey. You can see we have honey can be used in treatments of eye infections, where we have eye drops made from honey. Honey is used in, this is for honey facial treatments. You can see before, this young lady was having a lot of pimples. And these were pimples, acne, and a lot of blackheads and whiteheads. But after the facial treatment using honey, so honey helps in it helps in seasonal allergies. It soothes cough. It also provides very important nutrients to the body, and it helps also in having a very beautiful, healthy skin, and in treatments of wounds and burns. It's also a probiotic. You can use it to make things like kombucha, which are probiotics, which also help in various gastrointestinal issues. Now, the other one, which is a wonder product, is called propolis. Propolis is a mixture of plant resins, which bees scatters from the local plants, and they mix with some other chemicals so that they can make propolis. I would say this is one of the most successful product we have currently, and its success is attributed to treatment of respiratory conditions, things like cough. This is the product you need to have. Issues like even asthma, this is a product which helps so much. Pneumonia, respiratory allergies kama kukohoa, sneezing, pea propolis so far proven to be very effective. And on top of that, these pea propolis boost immunity, and especially our own pea propolis. It also helps in boosting appetite and immunity. Pea propolis have also been used in wound healing, that is treatment of the wounds, since it has antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral properties. So let's go to the composition of propolis. What does propolis contain? We have the main components, that it has the pollen, it has the essential oils, there is wax, there is the resins, and then there is some vitamins and minerals. But the most active components which helps in the treatment of these various conditions I've mentioned is the flavonoids and the flavinols, which are present in, and the phenolic compounds which are present in the propolis. So these are the compounds which are very active, and these are the compounds which are highly antibacterial and are antiviral and antifungal. And the other thing is they scavenge for free radicals, and it has also proven to help in some types of cancers. So propolis has been used in a number of diseases like cold, flu, coughs, pneumonia. These are basically respiratory conditions or most respiratory diseases. It has also been used in treatments of allergies, and most allergies here is respiratory allergies. It has been used in treatment of skin diseases. Most of the skin diseases treated here are bacterial and fungal, including things like mashilingi, any other skin diseases, both fungal and bacterial. Propolis pia has an effect on healing of wounds and burns and reducing of scars. And it has been also used to treat sores and ulcers, especially mouth sores and mouth ulcers, and even things like herpes. And it has been used also in treatment of toothaches, give it is another oral diseases. So I would say the propolis is one of the products which is doing wonders here. It's among the products we are selling, and it's among the products we have developed and added value to it. And it got SCAP certification, and it was certified even by University of Nairobi School of, that is Department of Pharmacognosy and School of Pharmacy. Because they are the one we developed together the product, and the National Beekeeping Institute. So, especially if you have a young kid who is going to school, the best thing you can do to that kid is to buy propolis for that kid. You will be able to boost their immunity. You will be able to boost their appetite. At the same time, you'll be treating these other respiratory conditions, which children of young age normally are very susceptible to these diseases like homa most of the time. Now, this is the effect in which how does propolis have these antiviral and antibacterial properties. One of them is propolis is bactericidal in nature. It's also bacteriostatic. Bactericidal meaning it kills the bacteria, and also it is virucidal, it kills the viruses through different ways. One of them is it destroys the binding or the receptors of these bacteria and viruses in the body. Then that one will make the bacteria to be bacteriostatic. Bacteriostatic means it cannot continue to multiply. So it will allow the body now to act on it on its own. So it will not multiply. Bactericidal is it targets some specific parts of the viruses or the bacteria and kills that bacteria. So that is what we call bactericidal. So that is the main ways in which propolis is very effective, because it is either acidal or static. So the next is beeswax, and beeswax has been used in making different products which have been applied in treatments. of various conditions. One of them is on the skin. For people who have dry skin, beeswax helps in moisturizing the skin. It makes the skin soft. This is by blocking. Once you apply beeswax in your skin, it will prevent the loss of moisture by the skin, so allowing it to retain that moisture within the skin, making it soft. Beeswax also has been used in treatment of things like pimples and acne. Beeswax is used in removal of stretch marks and spot and black spots. And beeswax is used in aromatherapy, where they are mixed with other essential oils so that they can be used in aromatherapy. Some of the candles have things like which are able to repel mosquitoes. For example, if you make a candle with neem, it will be able to repel mosquitoes. Candles have been prepared so that they incorporate other essential oils, like neem, which repels mosquitoes. And I said beeswax we have used in making different products which are used in treatment of various diseases and conditions. And one of them is cracked lips, which I said most of the lip balms, like the lip balms we have, once you apply on your lips, it helps in healing the cracked lips. And it also makes your lips moisturize. If it were dry, they become very moisturized. If it is a normal, your lips also moisturize. It makes them look younger and good-looking lips and glossy lips. So I was saying one of the products which we are very proud of, which we have developed using beeswax, is the lip balms. It has saved a lot of people from cracked lips, and then it also helps women who are breastfeeding because they apply on their nipple, especially when they have cracked nipples. It treats the cracked nipples and also it moisturizes the nipples. So one of it is that propolis lip balm, which is very effective. And then the body cream for people with eczema, for people with dry skin. Then we have another one also for people, ointment for people who have dark spots. They want to remove the dark spots. Some want to remove the stretch marks. We have a product for that. And those people who have pimples, we do a combined therapy where you use the soap, you use the body cream, and then you do the anti-facial treatments. So you do the treatment, then we give you the soap and the body cream, and the issue of pimples will be an history, and you'll have a very nice younger looking face, because it also helps with wrinkles. It removes wrinkles and it makes you look very young. Currently I can use, for example, in Kenya, the way we do this process is that we use a live bee, tunachukua nyuki, a live bee, then we direct on points where they will sting. And this is something we need training, because you need to identify the specific points in the body where you are supposed to sting. You don't just sting anywhere. So if it's issue, let's say at you have joint pains, you will have first to identify where the pain is, identify the root cause before you do the stinging. If it's migraines, you identify, and then you identify the points where you will be able to apply your sting. And currently we are using our live. The way you see from this photo, from this slide, they are using nyuki yenyewe. And the nyuki will sting you and leave the venom. And then it's a process, it's a procedure which is done by somebody who has been trained in apitherapy. So the main component, which is in the bee venom, is called melatonin. Melatonin is the main component which helps it's an anti-inflammatory. So it also helps in lowering the pain. So once you are sting, the active component is melatonin. And this has been shown to be very successful in treatment of arthritis and migraines, things like couts, lower back pains, and management of basically pain, even chronic pains. Bee venom are shown to be very, very effective. Bee venom has been also used in making cosmetic creams for removal of wrinkles, or in some other places, they do what we call micro stings to help in removal of wrinkles and having a young face, that is the removal of wrinkles. It has been used in treatments of things like vitiligo, and in some other places, in some other areas, like for example in Romania, they have used in treatments of various cancers, especially breast cancer and skin cancers. So they have used bee venom to treat cancers. But now, currently, what we do is on our side, we use bee venom to treat and manage pain, and mostly it is the arthritis, things like migraines, any other pains within the body. So we use bee venom. One thing which before we do the bee sting therapy or the bee venom therapy is you must do what we call an allergy test. As you know, venom or bee stings alone is also a potential risk. It can even kill if somebody has allergy to bee stings. So before we start the treatment, we do an allergy test, and we also do a process of diagnostic test, and then that will now form as to say how many stings are you supposed to get and for how many sessions. So there is a different protocol per patient. Yes, there is a general protocol for everyone, but each patient has its own specific protocols depending on the conditions and also depending on the body itself and so many other factors which we do once we have the patient and we assess the patient. So you cannot just come and say, mimi tu niende kwa msinga, nyuki nidunge, then arthritis yangu imepona. Or you just go pick 100 piece, unajisting yote, then you say nimepona. It's a process, it's a procedure which needs to be handled by somebody who has been trained. So the next one is pollen. Pea pollen also, pea pollen, I can say it's one of the superfoods. It's highly nutritious. And pea pollen is mostly used even by men to boost their sex drive, that is libido. It enhances sex experience. As you know, pollen, basically, I can say it's made from plants where they used to fertilize the female plants. So once you take, it has that effect, inakupea hiyo nguvu yote. Now, composition of pollen, I say it's a superfood. It has carbohydrates, it has proteins, it has amino acids, it has lipids, polyphenols, minerals, vitamins, carotenoids. So if you take pollen alone, you will have almost all what the body needs because it will have everything. So for immune boosting, pollen is also one of the best products to take because it has everything. It boosts your immunity. If you are doing fasting, for people who do fasting, you can be taking some at least 1 spoon of pollen. It will also help in boosting to have a balance in your instead of staying for long, you add in water, then you take it. So it has, because it has all the components or nutritive values you can find in food. Pollen has been used as one of the superfood, as I've said, because of its highly nutritive, and of course it's highly nutritive. It helps in improving the stamina and sexual strength, especially for men. It also treats allergies. This is through pollen. Pollen alone causes allergies in so many people. But the moment you ingest, the body will develop resistance to pollen. So your body will be able now to you will be able to have high resistance to pollen, and you will not develop allergies to things like pollen. It boosts the immunity and the supplement. I'll go straight to royal jelly. Royal jelly has been used in it enhances sex hormones, especially for women. It also helps in people to live longer, and because it has anti-aging properties, and it helps in moisturizing the skin, and it helps in generation of new cells. So royal jelly, if you take royal jelly, there is that effect that it's presumed that you will not die early. You will still stay long because of these effects of anti-aging properties. And it helps in regulating blood sugar and also helps in treatment against adrenal gland diseases. Contraindications of epitherapy. I would say if you have allergies to any of the pea products, we don't recommend you use epitherapy products. Pregnant mothers, we don't recommend use epitherapy products. Children below 1 year, we don't even encourage them to take any or anything in epitherapy. And people who are using warfarin on blood thinning drugs, we don't recommend them to use epitherapy. And that is it for today. If there are any questions, maybe you can try to answer.